Hello, St. Patrick's and friends of St. Patrick's. I'm loving this week. I tell you what, this coming Sunday, I am preaching on a passage that I don't know that I've ever preached before. I'm preaching on the conversion of St. Paul. Here, let me turn this off real quick. And I know I've referred to him. I was telling the staff today that in my time as a youth pastor, I often talked about how Paul was converted, Saul was converted, and kind of what that meant. But this might be the first time I've actually preached on this passage in Acts chapter 9. What's fascinating too about this, about Paul's life, or Saul's life as he was called before this, he was a big persecutor of the church. Like, he was like an enemy of Christians. And in the very famous scene of Stephen being stoned to death, he was the one who was kind of in charge at the scene. Even as a youngish man, they recognize him as the authority on site. Well, we get to chapter 9, and he's even wanting to press the case further to get rid of these Christians, to prosecute them, to ultimately persecute them, right? To drag them back to Jerusalem. And then this miracle happens where the Lord comes, shines a light, it knocks Saul to the ground, and Jesus says, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" And Saul's like, who is this? He asked the question, and Jesus says something profound, and it's important even for you and me today. He says, I am Jesus, I am the one you're persecuting. Now, I asked the question, and I'm sure you can answer this. Who was Saul persecuting? Saul was persecuting Christians. And yet notice what Jesus says. He says, I am the one you are persecuting. This is such a phenomenal truth about what it means now when we call ourselves Christians, or we are Christians, is that as far as Jesus is concerned, okay, he has associated himself with you, has identified himself with you. You are his, and everything that happens to you happens to him. You suffer, he suffers. You're poor, he's poor. You're sick, he's sick. You're persecuted, he is persecuted. How are you this week? Do you feel poor? Do you feel persecuted? God is not far from you. Jesus is not far from you. So much so that as far as Jesus is concerned, when you are suffering, or you are in pain, or you are in crisis, so is he. And that is a phenomenal truth when the Christian considers that our lives are one with Christ. When we place our faith in him, it suddenly bears so much more truth on the optimistic sides of the life-giving side of hope and strength and grace. I just think that's so cool. We're going to talk more about that on Sunday as we continue on in this Easter season. Acts is a wonderful book that's exciting and encouraging, and I hope you can make it. We'll talk more about what this conversion of Saul, of Paul, means for Christians today, and what it means that we are one with Christ. So anyway, hope you're doing well this week. We're praying for you as a staff, and we'll see you Sunday.